Welcome to the live, guys. Welcome. It's a little early in the morning for a live, but it's always a good time for a live. If you are driving to work, if you are just getting up, getting your morning Joe, if it's your day off, if you're taking a little bit of time away from the wifey to go to the car and sit down for a little bit, if you are driving to the military base, if you are driving to the hospital to go to work, if you're a first responder, and you're watching this video, give a like, hit that subscription button, hit that like button, and we're going to get started in a minute, fam. We're going to get started in a minute. Welcome, guys. Appreciate you. Emmanuel T, welcome to the live. Welcome. Thank you. You're the first one in. Shout out to Emmanuel T. Wait till a couple more people get in here, then we get started. Educate my fellow citizens a little bit about gun safety. Talk a little bit about random stuff. The day's going great, Emmanuel. I appreciate you. Thank you for asking. How's the day going for you? Hello, Elena. Welcome. Thank you, Elena. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. And if you guys see me looking off to the side, I'm on my laptop, so I'm kind of, as a matter of fact, give me a second. I have a stool here. Let me just make sure to put the laptop in front of me so I'm not kind of off by that much, so I can still, I think I can see the comments way better on the laptop than I can do, on the screen. Yes, there's some big guns up there, guys. I'm a collector like everybody else, man. So, yeah, gun safety first. All right. So the format we're gonna take today is give me 1 second, guys. Just trying to get everything set up. Welcome to the live. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. If you hear an accent, I'm Jamaican, so I know a lot of people say, "Oh, I hear something there, like an accent," Yes, I have an accent. I am Jamaican originally. I'm an American now. ODHV. I'm doing fine. Thank you guys for asking. I appreciate you. Just waiting for a couple more people to jump in on the live. Then we get started, get busy, talk about some important stuff. The word. Welcome. How are you? Throw it back. I don't know. What does that mean? Is that some kind of modern day thought kind of expression? Jupiter. Welcome. Hi. Thank you. Good morning to you guys. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing fine. I appreciate every single one of you guys for joining the live. If you guys want to support the channel, the best way you guys can do so is by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. This is a new vlog I'm going to start, or podcast/vlog, where we talk gun safety. I originally had a channel before. I had about 32,000 subscribers way back in the days. When I was deciding to go into law enforcement, somebody told me that, hey, it's not really good to be, flaunting guns on YouTube if you're gonna try to get in law enforcement. So me, like the idiot I was, and I didn't do any research, I went ahead and instead of maybe suspending my channel, I delete the whole thing. Lost a lot of subscribers. Some of you guys might have known me back in the days. Same name, just a bigger channel. Not big, but back in the days when everybody was really getting into 2A firearms, I was right in there. I think if I continued that and stayed on that trajectory, I think I would have been a bigger channel by then. But I don't care too much about how big the channel is. I just care about the message that I'm putting out. I want to thank everyone for joining on the live. I appreciate every single one of you. The whole aim of the channel is for entertainment purposes. It's an interest that I have. If you guys have looked at my channel before, You see me talk about trucks, motorcycles, which I love. I have two motorcycles. I've had quite a few motorcycles over the years. So some of the days we might even get into talking about motorcycles too. I currently have my dream motorcycle is the Triumph Rocket. If anybody know what that is, it's an amazing motorcycle. That's like my dream motorcycle. I will trade in every motorcycle I have just to have that one thing. I currently have a Honda Shadow Aero 750 with ape hangers. Hey, what's up? Aibo, that's how you pronounce your name? Aibo, Wow Rodriguez. Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining the chat. Joe Thierry. Yes, that's a Mosin right there. Thank you for joining live. I appreciate every one of you guys. So the motor, I have a Honda Shadow Aero 750 with ape handles, with 10-inch ape handles. Super nice, super comfortable. Everything works immaculate on that. One day we're gonna have to do a live on Gun Talk before we start the live. The second one that I have is a Kawasaki Vulcan 2053. That means it has 2,053 cc's. The thing I like about that motorcycle is that a lot of time the Harley guys will pull up to me and they just think that they're the ish. If anybody knows anybody who has a Harley, they think that Harley is the only motorcycle. So they pull up to me and they go vroom vroom vroom, and I just sit there not looking like a Harley guy, just look like a regular guy. But because my motorcycle is pretty big, they think that, hey, let's test this guy until I take off, and then they try to catch me, and I let them catch me, then I blow past them again, and then I leave them in the dust, and then I slow down and just let them go in front of me. That humbles them a lot. So yeah, so that's the two motorcycles I have now. I recently got rid of a Kawasaki Vulcan EN 550, which is a 550 cc's. I was trying to chop it up to be a bobber, but then I kind of, it was too much work. Somebody else wanted it. They eventually bought it, and I guess the guy had a Kawasaki Vulcan, and his dad wanted one, and so they wanted both to have a similar bike, so he bought it from me. And after I spoke to them again, they fixed it up, and then they're good to go. So the bike is in a new home. So if you're a motorcycle enthusiast, hit the like button. Tell me what kind of motorcycle you have. All right, so before I get started with the thank you, I appreciate it, Elizabeth. Thank you, Miss Spear. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining the live. Ravi, you asked a question, what hunting rifle do I recommend? I'm not gonna be this channel that's gonna tell you that I'm not sponsored by anyone. If you guys want to sponsor the channel, you guys are free to donate. If you guys feel like I give you some information that you guys can use, feel free to donate, guys. I appreciate it. I'll accept everything. The more money I can get, more firearms I can buy, more ammunition I can buy, more videos I can put out. But I think somebody just asked, what hunting rifle do I recommend? You can it depends on what kind. Number one, it depends what kind of hunting that you're planning on doing. If you're hunting small game like squirrel, rabbits, gopher, whatever the case might be, so any small game, you don't really want to get anything more than a 22. I would say a 22 or a 17 HMR. All right, 17 HMR, look it up. It's pretty much a long neck 22 rifle. Meaning that it's pretty much a 22 caliber, which is a little longer, and a really pointy bullet that goes really fast as the AR-15. So it is taking off and it is going. All right. So again, before you get into any hunting, today's topic is about safety. So you want to make sure, if it's your first time getting into a hunting at all, you want to make sure your backdrop, meaning after you shoot past what you're shooting at, you want to know about the backdrop, what's behind where you're shooting. So you got to definitely be careful in terms of hunting. Know where you're going to go hunting. If you just live on your own property and there's acres and acres and acres, then yes, feel free to definitely hunt as much as you want. But if you're just going hunting in a public space or some kind of wilderness that's a park, and you want to go hunting, first of all, read up on where you can go hunting, if you can hunt at all. A lot of hunting you need a license. So make sure you check with the local parks and wildlife services to find out what are the requirements to go hunting, what calibers you can use, what animals you are hunting, and how long, if it's even in season to hunt that animal. All right, certain animals they're just all season around. I guess I'm assuming something like a squirrel, which I'm pretty sure people hunt squirrel. Here in Florida, we have an infestation of iguanas, so I'm pretty sure you can hunt those year round. So this depends. So as I was saying, it depends on what you're hunting. If you're hunting small games, and I think a nice 22 caliber can do the job. 22, I would go 22 or 17 HMR, like I said. Um, yes, I am back at it again. Coke. Coke Productions. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining on the live. Wayne, what would you recommend getting rid of groundhogs in a neighborhood setting? If in a neighborhood, oh, I'm sorry. Before I go on to that question, so a 22 caliber, you can check out Savage. Savage sells Savage Arms. They sell 22 bolt action, 22 semi-automatic rifles. They sell 17 HMR. Check that out. Okay, you can do your research on that. What would I recommend for getting rid of ground dogs in a neighborhood? Honestly, guys, I wouldn't recommend a firearm per se getting rid of ground dog in a neighborhood. If you said a neighborhood, meaning that houses are a lot closer. If you're on a farm, which is your own property, guys, um, somebody say NAA makes some good 22s. What's NAA? Jane, welcome to the live, Jane. Appreciate you. Enlighten me on what NAA is. Thank you guys, Michael. Bulu. I don't know if I butchered your name. Yeah, appreciate there are some nice ones there. So for in your neighborhood, guys, if you are gonna hunt groundhogs in your neighborhood, again, the backdrop, guys, you're in a community, you just don't want to shoot random stuff. I wouldn't recommend shooting a firearm per se in your neighborhood. I would probably go with an air rifle if I'm going to shoot groundhog in a neighborhood setting. For instance, I live in South Florida. Iguanas are a thing. You can walk on a lot of canals and airway and waterways, and I wouldn't recommend using a 22 or any powdered propellant type weapon. I would definitely recommend like an air rifle. There's a lot of good air rifles out there. There's the crank ones where you crank them up and you put that the 22 grain or the 17 grain pellets, and you can go to work with those. Those are somewhat safe because they're not as fast and they don't go as far. They're not as lethal as a 22. So that's what I would recommend. So definitely I would not recommend any rifle size, even if you have your own property in a somewhat neighborhood where less than a mile away you have another house. I wouldn't recommend using a rifle. I would only recommend using a rifle if you're on a farm, if you're in the wilderness, if on the homestead, somewhere where you have a lot of backdrop where that bullet can fall and you can see. Especially if there's groundhog on a big field, then definitely 17 HMR is your best bet. A lot of people say they'll go 223s. If you're not going to eat the meat and you just want to destroy them and you want to go far out, if you live on a big wide open space, definitely like a 223, which is kind of overkill. But 223 or 556, guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's the AR-15 round. That's the pill that they use for AR-15, M4s, such and such. So I would go with a 223, but honestly, I think 17 HMR is the best round to go for that. What do you think? Lalo, thank you for joining live. Waniac 997, thank you, appreciate that. Lalo says, what do you think about super safeties? Super safeties meaning what? I'm not quite sure. Explain that to me a little bit. Maybe that one's going over my head. What do you think about India? Lucky Singh, not what I think about India. I've never been to India. A lot of the videos I've seen online seem like a very beautiful place. Then I've seen a lot of videos on the food and the food preparation. Please tell me that's not how everybody prepares food in India. I'd love to visit India. I've never been there, but yes, I'd love to do traveling. Tactical Llama, good morning. First time on the live. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for joining the live. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Guys, if this is your first time, feel free to like. If you guys want to donate, feel free to do so. This is the direction I want to take the channel. I want to keep doing these episodes, reaching out to you guys, educating. And on the other hand, if you guys can educate me, I'm always here to learn. I don't know everything. I'm not your typical YouTuber that's going to come on here and tell you that, hey, buy this, buy that, do this, do that, because I don't know everything. As homegrown 85. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking at this tiny little screen. I know I'm supposed to be looking at my laptop, man, but I keep staring back at the screen again. Um, uh, I'm good, man. Thank you for asking. As I'm going, I appreciate you. What's my everyday carry? My everyday carry, I have quite a few. I have a uh, obviously I have a Glock. I have a Glock 19, which I carry every day. Very simple, no sights. Just I'm still kind of old school, so it's just in the holster, inside the waist. Sometimes depending on what clothes I'm wearing, if I'm wearing a jacket outside of a t-shirt or something like that, I'll wear it on the outside on my hip, but make sure it's nice and tucked in where it's not printing. And that's a form of safety also. If you're printing and somebody sees you guys and they want to run up on you and grab it, that's a safety issue, because then they can grab your firearms and then your firearm is in the hands of the wrong person. So I don't make sure you're not printing, guys. Printing is when you're wearing a firearm and you can see that bulge and everybody knows pretty much what it is. So I Glock 19. I carried a Beretta PX4 Storm, the little compact one, for quite some time. Amazing little shooter. They have the new Beretta APX, which is pretty nice. Beretta doesn't do a lot of advertisement, but Beretta firearms are very good, guys. Beretta is the oldest gun company in the world. They make guns very well, and I don't know why they don't promote more. Donna Boy, welcome to the live. I appreciate you. Thank you. Um, I'm gonna answer Michael Bilou question. Have I ever shot all the guns behind me? Absolutely. I've shot all of them a lot. I'm in medical school now, so I don't get to shoot as much, but I do. And with all of these guns that I shoot, it's in a shooting range and it's always safe. Safety first. We're gonna get to talk about safety, but I'm just trying to go through the live, answer some questions. And I think somebody asked me a question about so I was pretty much talking about my firearm. So I also I talked about a PX. No, I carried a PX4 Storm 40 caliber. Was my first firearm. It was big gun, but I carried that for a while. I was used to it. It was a little big and chunky. It's a full size. And then I carried a Glock 19. Then I carried a APX Centurion, and then I also carried the CZP-10C for a while, and so that's pretty much my carry. I wanted to get into the what you call the SIG P320s, but obviously now you guys see what SIG is going through. Everybody's trying to get rid of them now. I never ever took the shot, no, pun intended, on picking up one of those, so I never did that. Ram 55280 Wagwan. He says my next EDC I think is HKVP9. I think it's mad pretty and super accurate. Guys, I'm not a huge HK fan. Honestly, if I'm recommended something, I would definitely recommend the CZP-10C, the CZP-10C, CZP-09, CZP-07 as a carry, Beretta APX Centurion, Beretta APX series of weapons are nice. I don't know. I just think that the P365 is a solid platform, but you see that, guys, it's going through a lot of legal issues right now. So I would kind of stay away from the CZP, the P365, the P series from SIG for now, because they do have a lot of things going on, just to be safe, because you don't know what the end conclusion is going to be about these firearms. SIG has been having a lot of problems ever since inception, since they took over from Beretta with the military's acquisition of a new sidearm, and they've been in the water the whole time, the whole job safety and all that stuff, and I don't even still think that they're in the clear right now. So I honestly wouldn't recommend. That's why I haven't bought one. I've seen them. I've seen how people put the comp on them. I've seen how they can be so compact and carry so many rounds, but then still, I just didn't take the shot on it. Pun intended again. And because it's always had that lingering kind of effect going on. So I just never went ahead and took the shot at that. So I would stay away from that. But again, guys, I don't want to tell you guys what to get. So as Ram 5280 said to me, no, I'm sorry. Somebody said they wanted to get HKVP9, right? So again, guys, whatever gun you see and you see fit that fits you and your everyday carry, get it. But before you guys get a gun, guys, the best thing you guys can do is go to a shooting range that might have that gun that you are considering, No, these are all real viral videos. There's nothing fake here. All right, American Unleashed, appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So before this is now listen careful, guys. If you're a guy or a girl watching this video, before you get a firearm, don't just pick up a firearm that you see on YouTube, that you see your favorite operator, you see your favorite YouTube guy, uh Vanilla currently have a 357 in my mouth. Don't do that, my friend. Don't do that. Please. Don't make jokes like that. If that is a joke, please don't say something like that. The name of the video is firearm safety. All right. My brother, I don't know if this is a joke, but if that's something you're considering, man, please don't do anything silly like that. Guys, get in the comment, man. Encourage Vanilla, man. Please, we don't want, that's not what we hear about. We're not here to have anybody do any kind of harm to themselves, any kind of harm to anyone else. If you guys can reach out to my man, give him some support, please go ahead and do so, man. We're not here for that. All right, we're here to support each other in the community, and I'm in the medical field. Mental health is something, and a lot of men. I'm just gonna divert a little bit. A lot of men in our space and in our society, we go through so much mental issues and we don't get recognized for it. A lot of us don't talk about it, and and we just let it fester. We don't know how to handle it, and then we resort to inflicted violence to ourselves and others. So please, if anybody's going to any kind of mental thought that they want to, off themselves or anything like that, please seek professional help. Seek out people. A lot of people are out there who wants to help you guys. All right. So please don't vanilla. Come on, man. Don't do anything like that. All right. Try to seek the Holy Spirit. Try to seek our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and try to see if you can get into the Bible. A lot of your questions about life, the afterlife, how to live this current life is in that book, man. So please, somebody reach out to Vanilla and give him some support, man. I see Mary Quintero. We support Diddy here. Free him. I don't know about any, the diddler. I don't know what's up with that. Susan Berlin. What's up? I'm doing great. Before I got off topic, what was I saying? I was talking about firearm safety. I think something like that. I kind of lost my train of thought before. Anybody want to remind me what I was talking about before I was reaching out to Vanilla? Suchin, watching from Haiti. I am Jamaican, so big up to all my Haitians. Sapase, in the Asian community. Thank you. Mary Quintero, you go against Diddy. You wrong. I don't go against anybody. Whatever Diddy's going through, that's between him and his legal team and the courts. I have nothing to say about that. I don't condemn anyone. I don't know what anyone did, so that's for the courts, for them. Life is worth living, and living well. Protect yourself and others around you. Avila Garden, appreciate that. 6 cents, Amelia. What do you need so many guns? I don't need so many guns. I just want them. I'm a collector, just like how I see a lot of women. Why do they need so much makeup? Why do they need so many shoes? My neighbor has like 6 cars in his garage. He only has 2 feet and 2 hands, and none of his kids can drive yet. Why does he need so many cars? He needs them because he wants them, and that's just what it is. It's a hobby. I have 2 motorcycles. Do I need 2 of them? No, but I just want them anyways. What else? Be careful handing those firearms, brother. They don't show mercy. Absolutely. And that's from James Mullins. He's saying be careful handling firearms, and firearm safety is what the topic is about. So with everything here is unloaded in every way, shape, or form. And I've been handling firearms for almost 20 years now, so I do have a little bit of experience with it, So we're gonna get into the video. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Susan Berlin. Appreciate you. Again with the Diddy comments. All right, guys. So I answered a couple of those questions in the early questions. Cat Condo, appreciate you. Thank you for joining the live. And guys, if you guys want to support the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, or if you guys want to make a donation, it's greatly appreciated. just hit that donation button so we can use that money, buy some ammo, go to the range. I have more time to make videos like this where we can educate everyone. Welcome to the live, Joel Ford. I appreciate you. Thank you very much, man. I will try my best. Manny Quintero, R. Kelly was a good man. R. Kelly is one of my favorite artists. I'm not gonna get into anything that he does, but yeah, he's one of my favorite artists. From Chinada. Um, all right, so Joseph Rusi, I don't know if I pronounced the name correct. Forgive me if I didn't. Is the Glock 26 a good gun? Most Glocks are. Just depends on what you're needing it for. If it's a long slide, short slide, full size, compact. It just depends on what you need it for. So whatever you need it for, I think a Glock 19 is a great overall gun, whichever generation. They're all pretty decent. Glock is known for its reliability, and its longevity. So any Glock you pick up is pretty much good. Like I said, if it's a long slide, you can use that for hunting. If that's just kind of walking around the homestead with it, a longer barrel is going to give you a little bit more velocity, a little bit more range. If it's a shorter slide, it's has more compactability. You can wear it around, conceal carry, so forth, so forth. Just depends on the application. And with everything you do, safety first. Oh, now I remember what I was talking about. So if you are, before I forget this point, if you are thinking about, because I was talking to somebody about the HK-VP9, right? And I was saying, before you go out and purchase a gun, guys, before you commit to that one gun, all right, go to your local shooting range. There's a lot of ranges close to you. Here in Miami and South Florida, you can go to a lot of range, rent the firearm, and shoot it. You can rent multiple firearms. So if you see a HK-VP9, a CZP-10C, a CZP-07, CZP-09, Smith & Wesson 2.0, compact, whatever, a Canic, you can actually rent it, try it out, and see if you like it. That's what I would definitely suggest. Go to your local shooting range, rent the firearm that you think you like, shoot it, get a feel for it, at least 50 rounds. Don't share those 50 rounds with anybody. You shoot every single 50 rounds. Try to rapid fire a little bit, try to do one at a time, nice and slow, try to control that recoil. And guys, before you purchase that firearm, you can just go and test it out before, and then you can figure out which one feels better in your hand, as which one grip is not as hard or not as slippery, or just fits you right. It's not too big, not too small. That's my suggestion to you guys. What's the best way? Somebody's at Ram 5280 says, what's the best way to find quality holsters? I carry a Keltec PF9 and I'm struggling with finding one. Honestly, man, I used to have a lot of leather holsters because I used to have a company that makes leather holsters. That was me and my ex-wife at that company. We're no longer together, so I don't have it anymore. So I would have recommended you to that company. I do have a couple for myself and future firearms that I'm going to purchase, but me myself, I'm not quite sure, man. I'd have to do some research and get back with you. Like I said on this channel, I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass. I'm not gonna tell you things that I don't know. But I'm pretty sure if you go on YouTube, there's a lot of if you look up that specific gun, I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there who has a holster for that. So that's what I would recommend. Just type in your gun on YouTube and see what are the holster options people are carrying with it. So that's what I would do. Why does a golfer need so many clubs? What's the best way to find quality holsters? Yeah. So I love firearm almost like an addiction for engineering and design, but I told my wife to hide my gun safe because I have a bad temper. Wow. That's from James Mullen. Listen, Mr. Mullins, a temper and firearms is not the best combination, my friends. And if you have to tell your wife to hide the gun safe and you have a temper, wow. Listen, you got to be careful with that, my friend. I would suggest, I can't tell a grown man what to do, but I would seek professional help, my friend. And, all of us men, we have tempers, you know what I mean? But honestly, you got to seek professional help for that. I don't want to get into telling a grown man what to do, man. But if you do have a temper, this episode is about safety. But you did take the first step of telling your wife to hide it. That is a good. If anything, you should let her know to change the code to the safe and she can keep it. And if there's an emergency, then she at that time she can open the safe and get you a firearm. But you're taking the right steps, my friend. The next step I would take is to seek some professional help with that. And like I said, mental health is a huge thing, and I'd most definitely, seek it if you can. No, I'm not wearing Kevlar, my friend. Terry Fino's asking me if I'm wearing Kevlar. Um, let's see. Trying to go to this question. I love. Okay. Springfield XD9. To be honest with you guys, I'm not a huge Springfield fan. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm more of a Beretta CZ type of guy, so I can't really give much advice on the Springfield XD. It seems like an amazing gun. Springfield does put out quality guns, but at times they can put out some crap too. All right. So, but personally, I've never really been into the Springfield firearms. I think I have a SOCOM 16 CQB, which is the 308 battle rifle, and one of my favorite firearms, man. I love it. I wouldn't trade it in for anything. I think if there's a shit at the fan scenario, that's kind of probably my go-to. It's heavy as hell, but I'm 210 pounds, so it doesn't really bother me that much. What else? Let's go to some more. Are you at the range? No, I'm not at the range. I'm at my house. So I'm in my safe room. So hasn't worked so far, blah blah blah, da 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 da. What's the best gun for are those yes, the guns are real, guys. Hasn't worked so far, da da da. Are the guns real? Somebody asked a question about what else? Da, 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 da. I'm trying to answer Tulip, look up the Mossberg Shockwave. It's Mossberg Shockwave. Is that like that's the little shorty comes in a little shorty shotguns? Yeah. Somebody Ram 5280 says it's coming 12, 20, and 410 gauge. I only shoot 12 gauge. I have a you can shoot 12 and 20 gauge out of a 12 gauge shotgun. Why so many firearms? I think I answered that question before. I'm a collector pretty much. I love them all, and so that's why. And again, Ram 52. Don't forget safety in the house. All right, don't forget safety in the house. All right, guys. So, Mr. Meaner, lots of gun, lots of crime, lots of gun, lots of crime. I don't know what that means, but there's no crime over here. I'm not committing any crime. I'm exercising my 2A right, which is to own firearms and carry them when I so do fit. Do you like pistol carbines, like the High Point 45? I love pistol carbines. I do have an High Point, not in 45, but in 9 millimeter. It's a High Point 995 TS. I think that's what it's called. It's behind me. I don't know if you can see it. It's literally right there. I love carbines. And then obviously, I also have right here is the Chris Vector. Right here is the Grand Power Strybog. I also have the CZ Scorpion, and I was this week I was thinking of purchasing the Zenith MP5 clone, but I'm gonna hold off a little bit on that. Watch your finances a little bit, but yes, I do love carbines. I love carbines. My favorite caliber, guys, is 22 and 9 millimeter and 308. In that order, not quite sure. I think my favorite caliber is the 22 because it allows me to practice. It's super versatile. You can use it for self-defense. You can use it for hunting. You can use it for training, new shooters. Maybe that's why I like it so much. So when I'm training people, that's what I use the most is the 22 caliber. You don't want to start training people to use a 12 gauge, 357 Magnum, all those big calibers, 308, Win Mag, 7 millimeter. You don't want to use that. You want to use a 22 and kind of ease them in it. So you know that a 22 is kind of like a gateway drug for ammunition. Once you get addicted on that, it's a wrap. You can't go back. So yeah. So just to answer that question, I do like pistol caliber carbines a lot. You know what I mean? There's quite a few more that I'm willing to buy. Like I said, the Zenith MP5, I want to get one of those. What else? The new one that I think Springfield Armory came out with, the weird name one that came out without it. I'm looking into that. Appreciate you, James Mulling. Semi-automatic Keltec bullpup shotgun. Oh, I've never really gotten into a Keltec bullpup. Why Keltec? You know, you can get great semi-automatic shotguns. You know that I think maybe have a little bit better. I'm not knocking on Keltec. Keltec, if you're watching, I have the Keltec RDB in 5.56 right here, and I love it. You know, he heats up a lot, but it's a piston-driven AR-15, and I love it. So I'm not ranking on Keltec, but guys, you know, you can go. There's a bunch of other shotgun. You can get the Beretta. What's that Beretta semi-automatic shotgun called? It's like Beretta 1300. Then yeah, you have the Beretta. Like a lower version than the Beretta. I don't remember what it's called. But you have a lot of shotguns out there that's not that expensive. That I think would be a little bit more reliable. You know what I mean? So definitely check it out. Keltec is a great company, very innovative, but you know, they're still working on a lot of issues that they have. The RDB, I've seen people rag on this, but I've always wanted one, a bullpup, so I went ahead and got one. And this one for me has performed immaculately. I don't know, maybe it was just tuned the right way. The gas system was perfect. It was so perfect, I didn't even touch it. I left it the way it is. I also want to get the Keltec. Anybody know the name of that Keltec 22 pistol that let me see, that it has like 60 rounds? I don't know what. I'd love to get one. That's kind of, I want to get that. And Keltec has good prices. They're affordable. They make guns for everybody. Just the availability of the guns is kind of like on the crazy side. They put out something and you can never get it. You know, they're kind of like Palmetto State Armory. Shout out to Palmetto State Armory. I love Palmetto State Armory. If you're watching the channel, send me some stuff. All right, so this live is already going on for 30 something minutes, and I said I was going to talk about safety in the home, safety at the shooting range, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Been out hunting all day, like 308, 30 odd 6, 22, 270 rifle. That started me off young shooting. And Desiree White Wolf, what? You're a shooter? It's glad to see that the ladies are coming in here and talking about it. Yes, absolutely. Izzy's asking how much do they cost? On average, it depends, man. All these guns up here, some I built, some I bought. Cost is relative. Depends on which gun you're asking, and I might have to go through do a video on purchasing firearms. Help you guys, show you guys how you guys can do that without breaking the bank. But that's for a different episode. For all the ladies that are in here right now, go ahead and hit that like button, man. Tell me where you guys are watching from and what do you carry as your everyday carry if you're a female. Desiree, I see you, man. You look like you have well versed. That's something that my daughter will say, that my dad started me out on this and this and this, because I'm definitely teaching my daughter how to shoot at a young age. She's probably going to end up doing competition, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. She's going to know how to ride a motorcycle before she can even, you know, get up on top of one, you know, because I'm that kind of guy. The USAS 12 shotgun is amazing gun, super expensive, hard to find, you know. Do you have a Roni sleeve for your Glock? No, I don't have a Roni sleeve. I've thought about getting a similar Roni, not necessarily for my Glock, but I end up, me like everybody else, when when SIG came out with a P310, I bought one ASAP. But it's a full size. I almost never shoot that thing. And since I don't shoot it, I was thinking about getting a Roni system for it and turn it into like a, you know, pistol caliber carbine, so to speak. So it's something that in the pipeline that I am thinking about getting. So guys, a Roni system is those little chassis that they kind of open up and you can put the pistol in it and close it and then use it kind of like a little, you know, a little pistol caliber carbine, just in case anybody don't know what a Roni system is. That's what that is. Other night, migrants hacked up a calf in my paddock and stole my mailbox, which was just what? Mr. Bufflesworth, they violated your space. Man, thank God you're safe. All right, because that's what this episode is about, safety. But do you own a firearm to defend yourself? And I'm not saying this so you can get a firearm to shoot at the people that are hacking up your stuff, which you'll be probably, this is not legal advice, you'll probably be within the right to defend your homestead or your property. But do you own a firearm, sir? You know, if you don't own a firearm, I would definitely consider getting one just to, oh, you live in Australia. Oh, I'm sorry. He said he lives in Australia. Australia is terrible with gun laws, man. I'm so sorry. They know the bad guys don't care about the firearms they get, but yet still they restrict law-abiding citizens. I don't get it. I don't get countries that do that, that don't give people the right to. And I know Australia be destroying millions of guns. I just don't understand it. But it is what it is, man. So just hope you stay safe, man, and hope you can find a way to get something to defend your homestead. Um, Appreciate you, Desiree. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you very much. The Golden Kalash. On YouTube, guys, I don't think I can handle firearms on a live, so I am going to kind of just look up there. All right, the Golden Kalash up here. I repainted it. It's in a gold camo. It's one of the Swedish shooter. It's in a 545, the AK-74, so it is an AK-74. And this one up here, it's called a Polish Tanto. I don't know if you guys ever heard about it. I don't know what the price goes for them anymore, but they don't make them. This was imported by Century Arms way back in the day. And this Polish Tanto probably go for around 1,500 right now. If I would sell it, I would sell it as is, but I do not plan on selling it at all. Any guns that I have, I purchased to keep. If at some point in time I want to sell them, I would do so. If I needed the cash, if I just want to get rid of a bunch of guns, if I don't have the same zest I have for the firearms anymore. But for now, this is the Polish Tanto AK-74 with a wire stock. That's what it's known for. Amazing shooter, super accurate. This one, back in the day, I don't remember what I paid for it, but I know right now, if I was to put it on a bid, I could go up to almost probably three grand, because they don't make them anymore. They don't import them, and the least they make of something, or if something is not being made anymore, the price for that thing is going to go up. So yes, that is called a Polish Tanto. Let me see. A Glock 24 EDC. Like I said, personally, like I said in the live before, I would definitely go to a range that you can rent a gun from. Rent that gun. Try to put it in your side, obviously safely, and see how it fits when you're carrying it, or you have it in your inside the waist or outside the waist, or see how it feels when you shoot it. That's the best thing that's the best advice I can offer anybody. A gun that you're thinking about using as thank you, Gothric, for a self-defense weapon. If it's a self-defense weapon, I don't think it matters how big the gun is, how long the slide is. It doesn't matter, because if it's a home self-defense weapon, then it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If it's a shotgun or a pistol, or however long it is, 357, 40, 45. You know what I mean? But if you're thinking about an everyday carry, then it doesn't matter. You don't want something big and bulky. You don't want something a little bit of long barrel. You want something more compact, would carry lots of rounds, preferably 9mm. I don't suggest 40, but I carried a 40 for years. People used to carry 40 forever. All right. JD Slide, I would say I am ready for the apocalypse. I am definitely ready for the apocalypse, man. I have some good neighbors. I would run with my neighbors and close friends. Obviously, I can't carry all of this, but if I had to carry something, it's probably going to be this AK right here. It's called this is Ishmash, AK-47 from the Ishmash, a Saiga AK, well built out of Russia, built in the Ishmash factory. It is 1000% a badass, and I would definitely run with my SOCOM 16 CQB in 308. I'm the type of guy. I don't want to keep firing 100 rounds down range. I'm gonna fire one or two 308, and when that thing gets hit, they go down. They're not coming back up. That leg is gone, that limb is gone, and I'm not just keep firing 5.56, punching through them and having them keep run at me in the zombie apocalypse. I'm hitting 308 splatter. All right, and yeah. So my quietest firearm, I don't think any of them are more quiet than the other, but the 22s are definitely more quiet. This is one that I built. There's a 1022 right here. This is a who makes that one up there? That's is that a CZ? I think that's a CZ up here. It's a bolt action. That's pretty on the quiet side. I love 22s, guys. And I have a ton load more firearms. You guys just don't see them. All right, so let me see. There are ton loads more. You guys just don't see them. All right, they're just out of view and around the corner and then around that corner and then in safe and so forth. So this is not just what I have. I have a ton load of them, guys. But I would say the 22s are a little bit more quieter. Obviously, the more you go up in caliber, the louder they're going to be, more gas, bigger stuff. You know, and somebody just asked how long does it take to get a suppressor in Florida? I think it takes them the same amount of time. You know, we're a two-way state already. However long the process takes for anybody in any other state that allows a suppressor, that's how long it takes for us to get it in Florida. You just have to fill out your paperwork, pay your $200, which I hate, and hopefully President Trump do away with that foolishness soon. Get rid of that stupid tax stamp so we can, you know, start buying up suppressors and drive the price down. James Mullins says he has a Taurus TX22. That is going to be my next purchase. I am looking at the Taurus TX22 competition. If you guys know, you know. It comes with, it's a huge mag. It's super light. It feels great in the hand. It comes with an optics mount. You can mount a suppressor on it. So that is my next 22 professor. So good choice, Mr. Mullins. Good choice. A friend of mine had just a regular Taurus 22, and every time I shoot that thing, it feels like a toy. It really feels like a little toy, but it just keeps going and going and going, you know. And I love them, and I've been eyeing one of those for the longest time. So that is my that is my next purchase for a 22 caliber rifle or pistol, is the 22 long rifle Taurus TX22 competition. And yeah. Easier to move to America, but it's very hard. Buffelsworth, I think you out of Australia. All right, so Thane Giggs, he says, I'm looking at the Chris Vector. What is your opinion on the gun? All right, guys, so you start the Chris Vector. If you guys play Call of Duty, all right, it's this one right here. It's called the Fennec in Call of Duty. If you're a gun guy, you're a Call of Duty guy. Is that safe to say? You know what I mean? So I've been playing Call of Duty since the first one came out. I have not stopped since. The only thing I play in Call of Duty, though, I think my screen name is The Black Mamba. THABLACKMAMBA. So if you guys want to reach out, if you're on Call of Duty, I'm on when I have free time. But yes, the Chris Vector is this one right here. The Chris Suit is called a Chris Super V, meaning that the recoil doesn't go back like this, like every other gun, but it comes here and then come down. So it comes here and come down, here and come down. So the recoil feels very unlike anything else you've fired before. So you know, it's kind of like it feels like a 22, but with a little bit more oomph. All right, so it's a great firearm. I love it, but I'm gonna say this. Without a foregrip on it, or a regular grip on it, or angled foregrip, and you have to put a foregrip on it, guys, for safety. This is the kind of safety we're talking about. Not that it's gonna hurt you, but if the ATF catches you with a regular grip on it, like the vertical grip, you can go to jail or pay a huge fine. All right, so that's the safety in this one. And the problem with this is all the controls are kind of like right in this little area where your hand holds, like, because you hold it like this, and right in that area, all the controls. So sometimes when you're shooting, just holding that area, you touching something, and then you mess up the function of the gun. I was having that problem because I was gripping it and squeezing it to kind of like da 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 da, and then I would experience some of that malfunction. I say the problem, how to solve that issue, is an angled foregrip. Or if you can SBR it, meaning making it a short barrel rifle, a regular foregrip. Once you put that on, it is a dream to shoot. Never had another issue with it again. Never had another issue with it again. So, and if you do buy it, worth every penny. Worth every penny. It is worth every penny. Probably my favorite carbine right now. I have the CZ Scorpion. I have the Grand Power Strybog. I have the obviously the Chris Super V, um, uh, MP5 clone over there, all the way over there. That Fox suppressor. I also have right here. I can't touch the gun, but this is also a 9mm, 10.5-inch barrel carbine right here, right? From Palmetto State Armory. But if I had to choose one, honestly, the Chris Vector would be my definite favorite, followed by the CZ Scorpion. Followed by this one, the Grand Power Strybog. And also, if you're on a budget and you want to get something really nice that's gonna protect the homestead, obviously the High Point is another good one. So somebody asked me earlier, do you like carbines? Absolutely. The High Point 995 TS is amazing, guys. Truly amazing. All right. So I hope I answered that question. Great gun, angled foregrip if you do decide to purchase one. All right, that's what I would do. What state am I from? I am in the state of Florida. Love it. All right. Why own a submachine gun if it's all just semi-auto? Again, I answered that question before. I'm a collector. I love firearms. Same reason why females owns a lot of shoes when she only have 2 feet. All right, I just love them. If there ever become a time when I can turn in a semi-automatic weapon, I'll definitely do that if I want to. Now they call the FTR trigger or FSR trigger, where you pretty much can turn your firearm in automatic trigger without turning the automatic trigger legally. It's just that the trigger resets, and it resets so fast you think it's an automatic weapon. So if I wanted to do any of these carbines into like a automatic weapon, I could with a SFRT trigger. If anybody has know the right name for that, hit me up and let me know. Do you have a case of summer sausage for your wife under her pillow? Okay, I don't know if that's for me, but I have a conversion kit for my AR. It allows me to chamber from 2, 3, 3, 5, or 6 or 22 to save me money at the range. Ram 52, honestly, I'm not really into those conversion kits. I think it just takes too much time. I think if you have a dedicated 5.56 223 gun, that's fine. And then you just bring it by a 22. This 22 right here is a custom 22. I built this with my own hands. Also, this one right here is another 22 I built with my own hands. This is a 50th anniversary stock from Ruger. This is a Ruger 20-inch stainless steel cold hammer forged barrel, and this can shoot half an inch at 50 all day. Both of these guns can do that. With CCI green tags, CCI standard velocity, it can do just a little bit, maybe about an inch or about around an inch, at 50 yards. So I'd rather go a dedicated 22 and a dedicated 5.56. That's just my opinion on that. But definitely, if you have a conversion kit, most definitely, you're in the field, you don't want to carry 2 firearms, you're out hunting, you're hunting big game, and then you wanted to switch out and hunt small games. Perfect. That would be the play for that firearm. All right. Where is the SVD? I don't have an SVD, but the closest thing to an SVD I have, guys, is this bad boy right here, which is pretty much from the SVD family. As you guys can see, is this one right here. This one is called, crap. What is this called again? The Vepr. This is called a Vepr. It's a 24-inch barrel Vepr in 54R. And the SVD, which is called a Dragunov, is in 54R also. So this is pretty much a shorter version of the Vepr. This thing can reach out and touch, man. If you know what the 54R caliber is, it's like a 308 on crack. All right. If you ever guys watch Sniper in the Mist or any of those, or Sniper at the Gate, I'm sorry, that old movie with the 2 snipers, the American sniper and the Russian sniper going back at it, they were using the SVD, aka the Dragunov, and it's pretty much this right here. You think that this thing has a lot of recoil, it really doesn't. It has a very nice muzzle brake right here. All right. It has a very nice muzzle brake right here that tames it a lot, and this gun is very pleasant to shoot. One of my favorite guns also. So no, I don't have an SVD, but that's the closest thing that I have to it. Advice for growing a new. All right, so Randy asked, "What's the advice?" Randy Laney, thank you for joining the channel, man. Appreciate it. Um, uh, Advice for growing the channel, man. It was hard, man. So just start out posting, man. If you have one gun, post the crap out of it. Or if you're, it depends on what your channel is about. If it's about motorcycles, about firearms, if it's about animals, it's about this, about that. Find that and stick to it. With me, I kind of started out posting a lot of, well, mostly firearms. Then it turned into more like a political platform too, because I do live streams where we talk about a lot of other stuff. And you know, so my channel is a mixture, so it's kind of hard for my channel to actually take off, but my channel was originally about firearms. All right, give me 1 second, guys. It was originally about firearms, so that's kind of the niche. Firearms is not necessarily the most popular in terms of YouTube channels, because they try to demonetize us all the time. They're trying to subdue the content. You have to work twice as hard to get half the views of other channels. Definitely um am I still live? I was off there for a second. All right, yeah. I was getting a call, so I'm actually using my phone to stream. My apologies, guys. My apologies. All right, so give me 1 second. Yeah, so using YouTube for firearm content is gonna be hard, man. You're gonna have to Brookside FM, what's good with you? Yes, so Chase wants to show me my favorite gun. I think I said it was the Chris Vector. That's one of my favorite guns right there. Chris Vector. Plus, I built this one and I built this one. Honestly, I love them all, guys. I really do. You know, my favorite gun is it's hard to really say, but Chris Vector is right up there. Yeah. So to start out the channel, you're gonna have to post a lot. There's no getting around it. Whatever the topic is, you're gonna have to post on it every day. And then once you post on it, then you know it will, like, you know, it will take off eventually, you know. But with YouTube, you never know, man. That's the honest truth. You just have to keep posting, and I think what they want to see you do is consistency and posting and posting. Honestly, I was posting a lot, and I even just sent them an email. You know, my shorts were getting thousands and thousands of views, and one day out of the blue, I'm posting shorts and they're getting 55 views, 67 views out of the blue. I don't know why. I know they did an update to the algorithm, man, and just nothing. And then I can post something on my dog and get 1,500 views, 2,000 views, 3,000 views. On a firearm, nothing. Less than 100 views. You know, so it just depends. You have to be in the algorithm, depend on the topic of the day, depend on what you're planning on posting. It just depends, guys. It really does. All right, so I did a lot of talking already. I've already give me a second, guys. Just give me just 1 second. It's gonna take care of something real quick. So I did a lot of talking already about so I answered a lot of questions already. We're gonna have a lot more videos, guys, where we can go back and forth, educate each other. Karen Boss, how big is your guns? Depends. I have a lot of guns. I have small ones, I have really big ones, and I have medium-sized ones. Yeah. So yeah, let's stop that. All right. So reciprocity. All right. So guys, let's talk about safety real quick. All right. So handling a firearm. All right. If you're a new person, so I'm not going to answer any questions from the chat. I'm just going to hit up these topics. We're going to talk about handling a firearm safely at your home, your first time purchasing a firearm and handling it, and handling a firearm on the range and on the homestead. All right. So that's what we're going to talk about. Then we're going to wrap it up. All right. I got to get my day going. All right. So first and foremost, if you guys decide to get into the firearm community, watch a lot of videos, guys. Watch a lot of videos on the firearm that you're deciding to go and purchase. If you've never handled a firearm before, don't just go out there, buy a gun, and take it home. Don't know what to do. Um, if you're looking for a firearm, watch a lot of videos, man. People will tell you that, hey, get a Glock, get a 22, get a this. Watch multiple videos, get different point of views. You have people like myself. You have a bunch of other people out there. Hickok 45 does reviews. Noir does reviews. You name it. There's a ton of YouTube channels out there that you can watch a video, and they'll give you the 2 cents on what's a good choice for your first firearm. Give me 1 second. Let me move this out of the way so I can actually get up close and busy and talk to you guys. All right. So, if you guys going to decide to get a firearm, do your research, watch all the videos possible, and then get a great idea. For instance, if I'm thinking about fixing something on my motorcycle, I don't just go right into it and get busy and just start pulling things apart, not knowing what to do. I watch a ton load of videos. I ask friends for advice, and I watch more videos. I'm a huge student of YouTube University. I spend a lot of time on there helping me to fix things around the house, firearms, motorcycles, cars, you name it. That's where I go for a lot of advice. When I know that I'm at my limit's end and I can't do something, then I will seek professional help. But definitely, if you're getting to firearms, one of the first safety measures that you can take is doing your research, saturating yourself with the content on the firearm, watching videos on firearm safety, and that's the first part. Like I said in the chat earlier, if you are thinking about getting a firearm, you want to go to somewhere professional or hire someone professional to help you. There's a lot of places that you can go and get firearm training that they'll teach you how to handle firearms both in the range setting and at home. So for your first firearm, when you finally decide what you want to try, or if you haven't even decided what you want to try, you can go to the shooting range and you can rent something that you think you like, get the name of it, take it to the shooting range, ask for help, and I'm pretty sure there's people there, or if you pay them, or if the range officers, they're willing to help you with the firearm. And again, watch videos on YouTube. All right. Preferably if you know someone that owns a firearm and that knows how to handle a firearm, ask them to accompany you to the range with the firearm that you purchase if you don't want to go and rent one at the range. All right. So once you before I even touch that gun at home, don't dare put any ammunition in that firearm. If you finally purchase that that firearm and you take it home, don't put any ammo in it. Ammo stays away. 1000%. Ammo stays away from the firearm. We're not doing that. You're not ready for that yet. All right. So if you want to get familiar with the gun, pulling the slide back, checking the magazine, look while you watch a video, you can look at the gun, be familiar with the different parts of the gun, the safety, the slide, taking down the weapons for cleaning. I'm sorry, man. Taking down the weapons for cleaning, so forth, so forth, so forth. Just watch the video, get familiar with it to the point where it's so easy for you. When you're at home, if you do purchase a firearm, number one, no ammunition. All right. Safety measures. First thing you want to do every time you handle that firearm, whether it's loaded or not, you want to point it down, not at your feet, not at your knee, not at your groin, not across the room, not out the front door, not out the window, but directly down and away from your feet, animals, children, neighbors, or anything. That's the first thing you want to do. Point it downward. Every time you handle a firearm, you hold it down, and if you happen to somehow put a round in the chamber, it's even more evident that you point it down to the ground, away from your extremities, or meaning your feet, away from the dog, away from your kids, because I know I'm saying it and it sounds obvious, but people make stupid mistakes all the time. So the first safety thing you want to do after you received your firearm is to make sure that you handle it safely. No rounds whatsoever in the gun. All right, until you've probably gone to the range, you've got a little bit more experience with it, and then now you are able to kind of like manipulate the gun somewhat. And I still wouldn't handle any firearm, any rounds in it. Now, if it's a safety thing with you and you need it to protect yourself, or carry it in your bag. Again, you want to spend more time at the range with this weapon, because if you're taking up a firearm to use for safety, why are you going to get something for safety if you're not going to train with it? Right? You just don't want to get it and just, it's not the movies where you see people go purchase a firearm, the guy at the front that said, oh, you do this, you do this, and you're good. No, it doesn't work like that. The brain doesn't work like that. You don't get things like that just by one time. You get it by practicing and practicing and practicing. Me, I can shoot in the dark with my iron sights on my Glock 19 because I've trained with it a lot. I've trained early morning because I was in law enforcement, so I kind of know what I'm doing, as do most people. You don't even have to be in law enforcement. If you spend any time around the firearm, you kind of get a feel for it. So you kind of don't even, you can jump up out of bed, and just the instinct that you have and the fact that you practice with it so much, you can just kind of like, okay, you know what to do. You're not looking down the sights, you're actually looking forward, but you actually are seeing the sights, and you know where. Because when I get up and I hear bumping in the night, I don't look down the side of the barrel. I look forward, because I can peripherally, I can see the sights, but I'm looking beyond the sight. All right. So you want to make sure you get that range time with the firearm. If you can go to the range as often as possible when you just get that firearm, that's the best thing to do. The more familiar you are with the firearm, the better you can handle it at home. The more second nature safety it is for you. All right. So now, depend on the firearm that you do get, guys. You don't really want a 5.56 or AR-15 to use for self-defense, and this is how safety applies to that. Because say there become an incident, a bear comes into your house. We're not going to talk about human beings because we're not promoting any kind of human violence whatsoever. But say a bear comes into your house, right? And you're so scared, you pick up your AR-15, bam, 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 right? Now you put down the bear, but some of those rounds and the adrenaline and all that stuff, goes through your front door, goes through your window, goes through all of these things, right? And that bullet doesn't care what's the next target. It hits a neighbor, it's a neighbor's dog, a neighbor's child. It hits something it's not supposed to hit, a neighbor's car, neighbor's property. Because again, this bullet don't care what's going on with you. You know what I mean? Or what happened. It's just gonna do each bullet is independent. It does its own thing. So that's a safety. I would not go with a 5.56 for a home defense weapon. Like I said, if you live on a homestead, which is an open property with big, then that's more feasible. Then you can see the enemy a way off, and if you want to shoot warning shots, then that can reach out and touch, so forth, so forth. But if I'm going to use something for self-defense at home, it's going to be 9mm, a shotgun, where there are different rounds for 9mm. You have ball ammo, you have frangible ammo, you have ammo that just hits the target, stay in the target, and no further. That it's drywall and it doesn't really go any further. So I would think about the type of ammunition I'm going to get. That is a form of safety. So if you are thinking about safety when you do get your firearm, guys, you got to think about the choice of ammunition. There's frangible 226, 223, 5.56. Same thing with 9mm. Same thing with 40 caliber. So think about the caliber you're going to get, the type of gun you're going to get. A shotgun, if you're using buckshot, birdshot for home defense, is great. But you got to think about safety. You got to think about what's beyond what you're shooting. So that's something you want to keep in mind. So what we talked about. Another thing that people overlook when it comes to self-defense and safety is ear protection. When you go to the shooting range, when you're at home, if you do any kind of shooting, always think about earring and eye protection, because a lot of times, sometimes these shell casing come out hot. They come back and they can burn your cornea, your retina, if you're not wearing safety goggles. Obviously, the decibels are high when you're shooting these firearms. So, you can damage your eardrum. So always think, even a self-defense scenario where you're shooting indoor, think about it. There's ear pros out there where you can keep by your bed, you take them out, put it, and you can hear everything, even clearer than how you can hear things with your ear, right? and you can have those by your bedside where you put them on and they're activated by motion. So when you put them on, they automatically come on, and that save your ear if you do have to make some kind of a shot to defend your family in the homestead. Even at the range, obviously you want ear protection. You want some good ear protection. I don't recommend using the ones that you stick up in the ear. You see people with those yellow ones that they shove in the ear. Another safety recommendation, since I'm in the medical field, guys, you're shoving wax up in your hair, and that's gonna block the tympanic membrane in your hair, and it's just gonna, distort or muffle the sounds you can hear, and it's not good. So I would wear a nice pair of, over the ear protection. Walkers are great. Walkers, ear and protection is pretty popular. They do a great job. The only thing I don't like about walkers is you have them over your ear for a long period of time, man, they hurt your ears a lot. So what I did with my walkers is I took off the original the earring puff part and I put on a gel puff. And oh my God, night and day in the difference. So that's another thing, and this applies, and everything that I say now, it applies at your house and my house and at the shooting range. So in terms of for home defense, guys, another safety measures, if you're gonna get a firearm, guys, putting that firearm away safely is of the utmost importance, guys, because young kids are, when I was a kid, man, my mom couldn't hide anything from me. My mom could not hide anything from me. I found it. Even if she hid my game or something that I want, she'd have to take that with her because I'm finding it. There's no spot in the house my mom can hide anything. I was a young kid. I was curious. My mind was firing on all cylinders. My mom couldn't hide anything from me. I would find, if it's in the house, I'm finding it. If it's got a lock on it, I'm gonna open it some way. I'm gonna figure it out. So kids are very curious, and we don't want to hear any incidents of any scenario where a young one gets hurt by a firearm by negligence of the parents. So that's what else I can think about in terms of home safety. That's about it. If something comes to me, I'll let you guys know. In terms of the shooting range, a lot of shooting range, they have range officers that are there to watch you and keep an eye on you when you're at the range. But most of the things that I say about the home should apply to the range. And let me see what else. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. There's not too much more to it. Just make sure that you have time with your firearm. The more time you have with the firearm, the more effective you are at being safe. All right, around other people at the range. And remember, when you guys go to the range, don't pick up that gun and sway it all over the place. Always keep it pointed downrange, forward. Everything you do is forward, downrange, where the bullets are supposed to go. If you have a question for the range officer, don't turn with the gun like this. Put the gun on the table, turn around, ask the range officer for help, or ask somebody next to you. If something is stuck and you don't know how to do it, listen. Even as guys, I've come into a situation where I'm firing my firearm, some malfunction happened, and I don't have a clue what to do. And sometimes the guy next to me, he might have a tool I don't have. The range officers might know of a way to handle that malfunction that I've never experienced, and they can help me. So yeah, that's pretty much the spiel for today on safety and firearm safety. So I'm not gonna say too much more, put too much more time on the channel today because I have to get studying and I have a long day ahead of me, gym time, so forth, so forth, so forth. And yeah. So I'm glad that you guys stayed with me, man. I appreciate every single one of you, man. Thank you guys for watching. I see. All right. So I think that's where clearing a jam. So okay, again, I'm just gonna maybe answer a few questions before I go. All right. So Ram 5280 is saying, could you talk about clearing a jam? It depends on what kind of jam. A lot of time, yeah, stovepipes, whatever the jam is. All right. No, I don't. I wanted to get a Tavor, but it was kind of expensive, and I ended up getting the Keltec RDB instead. But I'm probably, the Tavor is probably on my list of firearms to get. All right, so clearing a jam. If you're at the range, and say for instance, your firearm goes into automatic mode, right? It happens. Sometimes the sear, gets messed up and it can malfunction, and your semi-automatic weapon can turn into an automatic weapon. If that's the case, don't panic. Put the gun down, facing forward. Call the range officer for help. That's simple. Don't fire the gun anymore. Don't put any more rounds in it. Take it to a gunsmith. Have it fixed. That's all I have to say about if your gun goes into automatic mode. All right. And guys, safety measures. Do not buy a Glock switch. I apologize, guys. My bad. I'm getting over a cold, so I'm going through the phlegm phase. So, yeah, so do not buy a Glock switch, okay, guys? Illegal. Do not buy one. Number one, safety. Do not buy one. Do not post one. The ATF is watching, all right? They will come after you. So, do not buy a Glock switch. You see these kids out there shooting Glocks with the switch? Don't do it. Don't do it, okay? Half of them have no training. They don't even know how to control that thing, and safety is paramount. I want to work in the trauma unit. I don't want to see anybody come in because of any stray bullets, because of Glock switches. And in Chicago, that happens a lot. We're not trying to do that. All right. So continue with clearing malfunctions. But simple malfunction, if a casing gets stuck in the chamber, you want to make sure you release the magazine first. All right. Pull the slide back and lock it. All right. So and then I in my bag I always have like a little rod like this. I bought a rod at a metal rod at Home Depot. It's about this long, right? And you can always go in there. You can ask for the range officer's help, or you can always go in there and take that metal rod, boom, 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 and tap that. Because sometimes some of these shells, they expand inside the chamber and then they get stuck there. That's something that's how I would approach that, or ask for help at the range. What other malfunction that I can think of? All right. And that is true. There's no real aim with a Glock switch. Makes no sense. It's a waste of ammo. Half these guys you see shooting on TV, yes, when you see crimes and they're using Glock switch, they're not hitting anything. I mean, they when they do it, anything is the wrong target. Innocent bystanders. And so the Glock switch is foolishness. All right, so we want to stay away from all that stuff. Um, Godfather, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for joining the channel. If you haven't heard anything I said, you can always go back at the front of the video and watch all the things I said. Urch Von, you said something about using carbon fiber. What was that pertaining to? And thank you, Godfather, for joining the channel. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. All right. Um, just watch the video at the beginning. I talked a lot, answered some question. Um, Thank you. 5820. I appreciate the big ups, man. Thank you, thank you. Um, the firearm is something that I really enjoy. I enjoy talking about it. I enjoy helping people. A lot of my friends, I've taught them how to shoot. I've taught them how to shoot better than they know how to shoot. I taught them how to shoot properly. I'm not perfect, but the thing with me, I'm always willing to learn. I'm always teaching myself and learning from other people. I'm not above learning from anyone. I'm not a know-it-all. I don't know everything. I'm not someone that just like, hey, a Colin Noir or one of these guys who know everything, man. I'm kind of like a Hickok 45, still learning. Some of these gun channels, they come off very abrasive, like they know everything just because they have, a ton load of sponsors. Eventually, I'd love to have some sponsors that can help out the channel, send me firearms I can review, ammunition, gears. I love that. So if anybody's watching, most definitely, I appreciate if you want to sponsor the channel And guys, how you guys can sponsor the channel, guys, is if you guys just hit that like button. I really appreciate and subscribe. And if you guys want to make a donation to the channel, that would be great. Hey, appreciate you, Godfather. Man, thank you very much. Thank you. Godfather, guys, Godfather just donated to the channel. He just donated $5 to the channel. Thank you very much. That is very much appreciated. So for me, when I do get my donation, guys, I don't put the donations in my pocket. I'm going to medical school. I'm broke. You know what I mean? So when I do get the money, what I do is I take that money and I will go to Bass Pro Shop and I will buy ammunition. All right. So the reason why I do that is so if I can make more firearms content so you guys can see me at the range with the firearm, I feel like that's a better representation of a firearm that I'm talking about. So yes, so I wanna thank you guys. Hey, no way, get out of here. Thank you. Particular Baptist. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $5 donation. Thank you very much, man. Guys, I am grateful. I am grateful. You don't know how grateful I am. These little donations, guys, like I said, I'm a small channel. I think I have 13,000. I've never come on here. I don't have a Patreon page plastered all over the screen because I know that people, like I go through stuff right now. I'm going to school full time. I'm studying all the time. I'm studying till 2 o'clock in the morning. And I go to school, I still have my car payment, I still have my rent, still have my mortgage, my everything to pay. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I said the channel is kind of like slowed down a bit because the resources that I normally use to purchase firearm, do content, stuff like that is more diverted into like a career path. And by the way, guys, I am 47 years old. So I'm on this channel and I'm starting in the medical field. And I have a little ways to go, but I just want to say to you guys, you're never too old to get into firearms. You're never too old to learn anything. Every day at school, I'm learning new stuff every day. How to not only to handle human beings and and just deal with people in general. All the terms and in the medical field. Just everything new. You know what I mean? But you're never too old to learn, guys. And one thing with me, I'm always grateful. I'm always grateful for the fact that the Holy Spirit, guides me and His Son watches over me. And the only thing I can say is just I'm grateful. I'm not one of these big channels that I get a lot of support from anybody. Everything that I do, it comes out of my pocket. And how I pay for a lot of this stuff is some of them I buy them outright. Some of them I've saved up for months to buy, especially this Vepper right here. I saw this on TV. Some guy named Doghound something something, and he made a Vepper, and that thing was so amazing. And I wanted it so bad, and so I saved and I saved and I saved. After I would remember I would work and I would put away $100, and I say, okay, instead of taking out a girl to eat this week or going on a date, I would have spent what, maybe $100 on a date, $120. I would take that money. If I was gonna go buy fast food, I said, you know what? I'm gonna cook today instead, and the money that I was gonna spend on the fast food, I would take it and put it into it. And I would literally have a jar. I used to call it my gun fund. It used to be on my desk, and I would just put the jar down. And every time I felt like I would, spend that money on something that I didn't want to spend, I would take that money and I would put it into that jar. Give me 1 second, guys. Pardon me, I had some phlegm earlier, so I spat in the toilet and didn't flush it. My apologies. All right, guys. Yeah, so I am very grateful for the donation. Thank you guys very much. Thank you very much. This is definitely going to help out the channel. Like I said, anything that you guys give me, this doesn't go into my pocket. This is not for personal gain. This goes back into the channel. I just recently purchased, I don't know if you guys see some of my live. I'm just kind of using my phone to do the lives when I do the political content. But then I just recently purchased the light that's on top of the by the phone. So eventually, all donations are gonna go towards building the channel. Either buying equipment. I don't have one of those little what you might call it, those little speaker things. I think they do enhance a channel. So and I'm trying to be transparent as hell, guys. So that's what I want to do. Maybe eventually I can, make the room that I do these videos in a lot more palatable, where it's more it looks a lot better. I mean, the backdrop here is pretty nice. It's a conversation piece where people, can ask me about the guns and ask questions. And guys, I really love doing this. I want to do this maybe maybe 1, 2 times a week. I don't really have a lot of time, but I'm definitely going to do this 1 to 2 times a week. And hopefully you guys stay here with me. And I'm going to try to do more videos to where I actually do videos and post them. But I love doing the lives because a lot of times people don't get to interact or watch the videos that you make. But when you come on live, people are asking you questions, you're answering questions. It's a bit more personal. It's not as, like you just make a video and toss it out there, and if people want to watch it, you watch it. Here you actually get to talk to people get to talk to you, they get a feel for you, they get to see if you're genuine or not. And I think when you watch lives, you see people's true personality come out. Maybe they can still hide something, but you see that, what those people are made of. And guys, if you watch the content, if you believe that I'm wrong with some things, feel free to tell me. I don't have a thin skin. I have a very thick skin. I worked as a captain in a prison for a few years, so there's not much people that can tell me that can hurt me. There's not much people that can do to me that can hurt me. I'm a pretty tough guy. I go to the gym. I bench press over 300 pounds all the time. I play soccer. So I don't, my feelings don't get hurt that well. I have a thick skin. I can take it all. So let me see. Tax stamp. Blacken is asking about the tax stamp. All right, so I don't know how it pertains to other people in other state, but here in Florida, where I pick up my guns, I go to a place in Miami called Rightful Liberty. All right, so I go to Rightful Liberty to pick up my firearms, and if you go there, they have a station, a tax stamp station. You can literally do everything right there. The lady at the front desk, she'll talk to you, and I guess you just pay the 200 tax stamp, and they'll tell you how long it's gonna take you. You do the background check, and you submit your paperwork, and that's it. And then depending if you want it for a suppressor, a short barrel rifle, it might take I don't know how long it might take. Yeah. Big up Blacking, you're in Texas. Shout out to Texas, man. Bob Bobbing. I can see the chat window. Yes. Did you have a question? What's your question? Bob asked me a question about let me see. You're planning on a war? No, I'm not. What's the most devastating gun you have, bro? The 54R right here, and 7.62 by 54R is pretty damaging. It's a big round. It's the round the Dragunov uses. It's a pretty big round like this, so it's a pretty devastating round. I also have 308 firearms. I have AR-10, which is the one with the thingy right here behind me. This one right here with a covering. That's an AR-10 from Palmetto State Armory, and I also have the SOCOM 16 CQB in 308. So those are probably the most powerful guns that I have. I do have a couple of M4s. You call them M16s. Those are the older version, but I have a couple of M4. I have a pencil barrel. I have Palmetto State Armory. I have H&K. I have quite a few. So what else? The tax stamp. Godfather, listen, man. The tax stamp is a bane in our butt, because I've been wanting to get some suppressors, but I'm just not. I'm not buckling under the pressure of the $200. I'm not. I know Daddy Trump is gonna make it to where I think it's close to where they're getting rid of this tax stamp. And I've taken firearms, 22s, 9 millimeters, 22 long rifles, to the range, and I've had other people use their suppressors on my firearms, and they are amazing. Nobody wants to pay $200 on a tax stamp. Nobody does, and I think it's bull crap. You're already paying for or the tool. Why you have to pay a $200 tax stamp on it? That makes no sense. That's like buying a car for, because you purchase a firearm, a 22. The 22 is like $300-$400. To get a 22 can on it, another $200. You're paying what, 40% on a tax stamp and you still have to buy the suppressor. You have to buy the suppressor, the tax stamp, and no, that's like buying a car, and before you can drive the car, you have to buy the muffler for, and then pay, and then along with buying the muffler, you also got to pay a, a $10,000 muffler stamp. I don't care too much about tax stamp. I think the ATF has bled us for a long time, and I think Trump is coming around to getting rid of that tax stamp. I don't see what the tax stamp stand for. And the ATF already got money, and we already know that most of these government departments already, all they do is siphon money and put in their own pockets, and it doesn't go to anything to do with the two-way community. We pay tax stamp on what they do with it. Do they put it in education for firearms education? They put it back into the community? No, they just line the pocket of the government, and the government gives away your money to illegal immigrants. So no, I have no desire to have a tax stamp whatsoever. He says about NFA not having to pay a tax stamp. So let me ask you something, Godfather. So you're saying that we might not have to pay a tax stamp after January? Where did you get that information? Because if that's the case, man, once that goes into effect, I'm gonna buy multiple suppressors because I want a 9mm can. Obviously, I have this here, Grandpa's Tribog 9mm. I have the Chris Vector. I have the CZ Scorpion that I love, and I have handguns that I can use that 9mm on. I also have a ton load of 22s that I can put for 22 suppressors. I have a ton load of 22s. I love 22s. So definitely. Wow, I did not know that. Don't Call Me Radio says in January, after you're going to SBR your rifles and get suppressors when the tax stamp is gone. Definitely. Absolutely. I'm definitely SBRing this one right here. Straight foregrip, no more foregrip, just regular grip and a stock. Definitely. I've been wanting to SBR this Chris Vector. Not so much this Strybog because the stock is pretty good. But I will definitely keep the braces though. Don't get rid of the braces because you know how finicky the two-way community is. One day they'll tell you that you can do this and this. Next day they come out with a law saying, hey, you have to give in all your braces. You remember when they came out with that stupid rule that you have to return all your braces? I was like, oh hell no. I paid money for this. Oh, you're supposed to return the gun and the brace? No. You imagine those people that brought in all their firearms with the braces and gave it in? Oh hell no. No. Won't be doing that. So make sure if you guys are gonna do the braces and the stocks, make sure you keep all your braces, guys. Make sure you keep all your braces because you never know what the climate is. In 4 years, we might have a Democratic rule, and you know how that goes. They undo everything Daddy Trump does. So make sure, and that's also a safety topic. All right. Oh, of course, that bill and Godfather, that bill is big and beautiful. I've read it in its entirety, and it is big and beautiful. I know a lot of people are wondering why things are just not going as Trump said they were going to go, but people are so impatient. We had 4 years of Biden and he didn't do anything at all. And nobody jumped up and cried. Everybody, when he was saying, oh, we need to tire our bellies and make sure that we give more to the government, everybody, they were just quiet. They didn't say nothing, and Trump is in for 8 months and everybody's crying, oh, this and this and this and this and this. It's this people are crazy. Don't Call Me Radio. He says that's a good point. He says that suppressors are going to be in back order. You are absolutely right. That's why I don't really care if I get them right away because I know once the suppressor we don't have to pay that tax stamp. I know there's a lot of companies that's gonna come and they're gonna make a lot of crappy ass suppressors. It's just what it is. Everybody's gonna want to get a piece of that pie, you know. So me personally, when something always comes out, I never always get it right away. So I would suggest that if the tax stamp thing gets abolished, guys, don't jump on the suppressor unless you're buying it from a reputable dealer, you know, like whoever makes some of the best cans. Yeah, they're gonna drop their prices. Trust me, because everybody's coming in to get a piece of that market. So everybody's gonna start building suppressors. They're gonna drop their prices. They're gonna go in back order. But when it all levels out again, their prices are gonna stay low, and you can buy multiple. To the point I'm gonna buy multiple suppressors, multiple 22, multiple 9 cans, probably one 30 caliber can. For maybe my AK and my 308, and then probably multiple 22 cans, probably 2 or 3, and multiple 9mm cans. So I want to have maybe about 4 or 5 or 6 cans, because I want to have certain cans dedicated to certain rifle. Obviously, one's going to be dedicated to this Chris Vector and my Scorpion, and then I probably have a third 9mm can just to switch out on every other thing. I want to have two dedicated can for 22, and then another floater, and then a 30 caliber can or a 5.56 can. So it's gonna end up breaking the bank for me. And again, this is all for Firearm, not for my personal gain. I'm not using it to buy groceries and all that stuff. There's more stuff for the channel, do more reviews. We can put them out there and do more range session. So I do agree with Don't Call Me Radio, definitely. I do hope the ATF get nerfed. They should have been nerfed already. I don't know why Daddy Trump is waiting that long. And guys, I gotta get my Make America Great Again, man. Anybody want to donate one of them hats to me, man? Just let me know, man. I'll let you guys know where you guys can contact me. Somebody saying release the Epstein files. I think the Epstein files are going to do more damage for Democrats than it does for Republicans. A lot of people think that him not releasing Epstein's files because it has negative stuff about him. I don't think so. He's been saying release the files. So even when the Democrats could have released it, he was saying, why don't they release it? So why would he advocate for releasing it when the Democrats had a hold of it? I think it's mostly for for whatever reason they see a lot of things we don't see. So it's just like when our country goes out to war, he comes in, he say, hey, we're gonna do this, but they don't tell you the full story. They just tell you a part of it. So that that there's a lot of things they can't tell you. So they know what they're doing. They're gonna release it, and you're gonna get everything you're supposed to get. You're gonna hear everything you're gonna hear. I honestly believe that. What's your favorite class of firearms? For example, being a shotgun. All right, my favorite class of firearms is definitely between 22 and 9mm, and I'm gonna have to go with the 22. And the reason why I'm gonna go with 22, and I'm gonna make another video about 22s. We're gonna have another episode about 22s because I love 22s. That's how much. Because I love 22s because they're good trainers. They're good trainers. They're versatile. I said it earlier in the chat. 22s, you can use a 22 to teach anybody. You can use a 22 to teach a child, get them into firearms, someone who hates guns and feels like they're these terrible things. You can start them off with a 22, they get addicted. Quick story. When I just met my ex-wife, she saw that I had a lot of guns. And I said, hey, I'm going to take you to the range. She was scared witless, right? She didn't want to go. No, they're gonna know. I don't want to, because of the media and how they talk about firearms. So I said, okay, no problem. I took her to the range. She started with a 22. She loved it. She graduated within maybe 30 minutes. She graduated to a 22 long rifle. She loved it. Then she says, oh, this is not so bad. This is easy. She graduated to the 9mm. She said, this is not that bad. She loved it. Then she graduated, started shooting one of my 5.56. Oh my God. She was hooked. Oh, I love it. Especially when she can see her target hit something 100 yards and that thing explodes, or that thing makes like a dust in the, oh my God. She fell in love. On the way home, this one is mine. This one is mine. This one is mine. And that's how it is for a lot of people that I teach shooting. At first, they're a little skeptic and skittish. And then by the end of the day, they're in love, asking you what should be their first firearm. You know what I mean? So that's the joy I get out of teaching people about firearm, educating people about firearm, and introducing people to firearms. You know, and I do. I could talk about firearms all day. I could, and that's why I decided to do these episodes. And so obviously, I like to talk to people too. You know, I'm a people person. Um, I don't know if I want to get a thermal on a 22. I think a thermal on a 22 is probably more applicable for like maybe somebody that lives in a barn on a farm where they have like a rat infestation or a gopher infestation where they want to just kind of like get busy at nighttime, take out some of these gophers, or if you're using like a 17 HMR, which is a version of a 22, and you have coyotes on your farm, gophers, fox, and you want to just, you know, take them out with small game and a suppressor and a thermal scope. You don't want to give away your position with a light. That's where I would introduce a thermal on a 22. But besides that, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that. Dogo, yes, I do have a lot of guns. I have on the wall, I have on the ground, I have in safes, I have on my person, on that side, up there, down there. They're everywhere. I'm gonna do a episode where I'm gonna show you guys how to build up your collection. If you're not a rich person. Um, Dogo said, "What's firearm is best for ice? Zero. No firearm is best for ice. Stay out of trouble. Safety. Now that's what we're talking about today. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. So Godfather, what guns do you have? Guys, in the comments, what do you guys carry for your what do you guys use as home defense? What do you guys use as self-defense? Colibri says my favorite manufacturer personally thinks H&K makes amazing guns. That's true. For me, my personal favorite firearm company is probably, I would say, CZ. This CZ22 right here is amazing. I have a CZP10C, I have a CZP09 and a CZP07. Amazing. All right, for me. And then I also like Beretta too. Beretta makes some very nice weapon. And one of my favorite companies coming up now is Palmetto State Armory. Yes, they don't make the best firearm, but Firearm Technologies has come a long way. And Palmetto State Armory does that with their excellent customer service, their lifelong warranty. Definitely, Palmetto State Armory is one of my favorite companies. And they're cranking out new innovations. They trying to turn the gun market on its head. They're trying to, you know, give the people, put a firearm in everybody's hand. That's a great thing, man. So I love Palmetto State Armory. Yeah. Hey, Saeed Birmingham. Hey, thank you, thank you. Stephen Holland said my Edie says a Glock 17 and a Keltec P32. Glock 17, that's a long slide, man. How do you carry that thing around? And how do you sit down when you're gonna eat with that long slide? J.S. Scott said home defense, Claymore Roomba. Okay. Steve Holland said he's Edie's. Okay, yeah. So what else? So question. Gina Mendoza says, do I think teachers should have firearms? Yes and no. No, not all teachers should have firearm. Yes, some teachers should have firearm. I feel as though instead of sitting down waiting to be a target, if I'm a teacher, I would rather be trained X amount of time for the year if I'm put in a position where I'm staring down the barrel of a gun and so are my students. Yes, absolutely. I want the chance to defend myself. Give me the opportunity. Even if I'm going to die, I want that opportunity. Because a lot of these cowards that do school shootings, when they get shot back at, they flee or they can't take it. They're soft. So I do think that teachers should be trained and carry firearms, but not all teachers. I think that there should be a selection process. There should be a vetting process. And then after that vetting process, certain amount of teachers and certain types of teachers, certain personality of teachers should be allowed to carry a firearm in school just for incidents where there's a school shooting. Absolutely. 1000%. Thank you. Godfather says the ones that are stable. And that's kind of what I was gonna say. You have a stable personality. That's what I meant by saying that. Those willing to go through the training should be allowed. Absolutely. Absolutely, Frank. Yes. Guys, I think I'm gonna end the live there because I do have my day to take on. I do have some things to do before the day goes. But again, guys, thank you guys for joining the live. I appreciate you. For all the people that contributed to the channel, thank you very much. I appreciate you very much. Major shout out. Major shout out. Particular ex-Baptist. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate you very much. Major shout out, Mr. Godfather. All right. You came in on the tail end of the live. You were the first one to start out the contribution, $4.99. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. The money that you guys send me is not going into my personal account. It's not going to buy me lunch. It's not going to pay my bill. It's going back into the channel. In terms of equipment, the audio kind of stuff, I just purchased the light a while ago. And as you guys can see, this is episode 2. So obviously I'm trying to get back into creating content like this. I love the interaction that we have, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to doing. And if anyone, guys, like I said, want to contribute to the channel, that's where your money is going. I'm not using your money to to pay any of my bills. Like I said, I'm in medical school. I'm all for helping people. All right, that's what. So if somebody asks me, I keep saying I'm going to school. That's what I'm in the medical field. So I do it because I want to help people. I like helping people. I like interacting with people. I like teaching people where I can, and I also like learning. I learn every day new things, new concept, new way how to take care of the sick. And that's where I want this channel to go. You might see some content on the channel. My dog, I have a Belgian Malinois. You might see some content on the channel about motorcycles. I love riding motorcycles. You might see some content on the channel about trucks. I love trucks. You might see some content on the channel about out and about in the open. I love parks. I love camping. I love hunting, all that stuff. So wherever the firearm content takes me, and I also do some political content when I go live in terms of I watch a lot of political debates and stuff on channel with my viewers and make comments. So guys, if you guys do want to contribute to the channel, that's how you can do. The best contribution you can do, guys, is hit that like button, subscribe to your boy, hit the notification. When I do go live, we can chop it up, can talk about everything. You guys can educate me. I can give you some of the knowledge that I've acquired over the years from the 20-odd years of me handling firearms. I can do some range videos, guys. Whenever you guys see the videos drop, in terms of firearm, just go out and support them. That's all I ask. You don't have to give any monetary contribution. But if you do, the monetary contribution that you do give, it doesn't go in my pocket. It goes to buying equipment and ammunition. All right. The firearms, I can take care of those on my own. If I do get enough contribution, then most definitely I would definitely purchase more firearms so I can do reviews. And oh my goodness, stop it. Stop it. I just saw this. Stop it. Man. Wow. Don't call me radio. Thank you, man. Godfather, don't call me radio. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Don't Call Me Radio. My man just contributed $20 to the channel, man. Listen, thank you very much. Much appreciated, man. Thank you very much. Shout out, guys. Shout out to Don't Call Me Radio, bro. Shout out to my man. Thank you very much for the contribution. I really appreciate you. Man, you guys don't know how much I appreciate you. Our particular X, thank you again. Just want to thank you. Godfather started it out. Thank you, guys. Guys, You're overwhelming me. You're overwhelming me already. I'm not the type of guy, I don't, everything that I have, I purchase on my own. I'm not the type of guy who ever gets anything. I never win anything. I'm that kind of guy. You know what I mean? I don't win anything. Nobody gives me anything, everything. I've just always been work hard and go get it. But when I see contributions like these, man, I don't even know what to say because I don't even really like to accept stuff. But to try to build a channel and help educating, man, thank you guys very much, man. I don't even know what else to say. I really don't, man. Just thank you guys very much. I really appreciate you guys. I'm about to sign out because I gotta get to school. I just did an exam. I got an 89 on my exam, and I felt like a couple questions on there I should have gotten a grade for. So I'm trying to go to school, meet up with my professor, and see if she can explain to me why I got them wrong and how I can get more points. It sounds like I'm begging because I am begging. I'm in a medical program at school, so every point counts. So that's what I'm doing. So guys, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys can always donate to the channel anytime. You guys can always, contribute to the channel by giving that like, by subscribing. And I'm out. Mr. Black Mamba 305 signing out. Thank you guys. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you guys. Godfather, thank you. All right. Particular, you're amazing. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. And last but not least, Don't Call Me Radio. Appreciate you, man. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you. Round of applause for everybody who contributed, and for anybody who didn't contribute. I know how the financial climate is. If you can't contribute in that way, contribute by just liking the video and subscribing. That's just as good as monetary, man. I appreciate you guys. And with that said, I'm out.